We are a go. And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of our Sunday watch parties. I am joined today by Mr. Furzel. Welcome, Mr. Furzel.
Hey Sharon, thanks for having me again.
No worries, man. This is great. I was hoping to get someone guest hosting that had an appreciation for this movie.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get into all of that. We've got lots to talk about. We have a hell of a fun movie. Little over 2 hours. Um, and I don't think there's any. Everybody's going to be watching the same version, if I'm not mistaken. There's no director's
Yep.
cut or anything like that. Um, and all right, so let's get let's get into the action. We should all be synced up right as the Columbia logo comes on the screen. It's right at the beginning of the movie. So if everybody is synced up, Mr. Furzel, would you like to
Yeah.
count us down?
Anybody that misses this countdown would be making a big mistake. That's my one catchphrase, Chad. Here we go. Five, four, three, two, one. Press play.
Press play. All right. Um, all right, so we're just gonna kind of jump into this movie. Before we do, I always like to do a shout out and recognize everybody that is joining us here today. Over here in YouTube, we have GH Zoner, we have Mad Matt, Calbot, Miss Swift, Eric. Let's see, Matt's there. Uh, who am I missing? Johnny Devick. Welcome, everybody.
Eric
Uh,
and Swifty.
Yep, Miss Swift is there, and also got people doing double duty over there in Discord as well. We got Miss Swift, Matt, Eric. You're over there too, Mr. Furzel. We're probably going to be seeing Sith's sister late. She's saying we're at a dinner today, but I told the wife she needs to watch this one. She's rating delayed for a while, so we'll be on
Hey
the lookout.
Alex.
Alex is over there. All right. Oh, Alex just joined us on YouTube. Um, Mr. Furzel, why don't you start and tell me your history with this movie? Um, and what are your impressions like when you first saw the movie versus seeing it now? What are your impressions?
Well, I think I saw this in theaters back in '93. I think that's when it came out. I remember loving it. I mean, Schwarzenegger was still at the top of his game at that time, making just over the top action movies. But I was surprised that this movie didn't do as well in the box office as people were hoping or maybe expecting it to, especially since John McTiernan, I mean, the guy that did uh, Die Hard, obviously directed this one too. So I was a little surprised, but I think that's because that people kind of missed the whole point that this was a satire of the action genre, how it was kind of overloading itself and kind of making fun of itself while also delivering still great action at the same time. So, you know, but seeing it again, I mean, it's in my collection. It's been in my collection almost since the very beginning. I've watched it several times, and it's just a fun time every time I check it out.
And that is interesting that you say that um, because when it first came out, and I didn't see it in the theater, I think I was too swayed by the critics who just decimated this movie, and I never even gave it a chance.
Yeah,
Uh, and that's my bad for not giving it a chance. But that was a time when movie reviewers really had a foot in the industry, and what they said can make or break a movie.
yeah.
Um,
I think at that time I was probably too young to really care what they were thinking still, but
yeah,
we
yeah,
also
good for
missed
you.
a cameo by Tina Turner there.
Yep.
I love,
Um,
I love all the little cameos that this movie has in it too.
um, there are so many cameos, movie references, pop culture references. that I was trying to do a search of how many exactly people could count,
Hmm.
and there's well over 100, but
Oh
I don't
yeah.
have an exact count because you're right, Mr. Ferzel, this movie pokes fun at itself. It
Yep.
pokes fun at action movies. It pokes fun at Hollywood. It pokes fun at everything surrounding the industry. And it literally does not ever take itself too seriously because it knows what it is. Um,
Mm.
and to people's detriment, when they are going into this movie, they didn't maybe give it a fair shot, even though John McTiernan at a certain point said this movie is a mess and it's a
Yeah.
disaster. But we can still love it
Yeah.
and just appreciate for what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Swift, Tom Noonan, the original Tooth Fairy.
There you go. Manhunter.
Um, yep, yep. Alex Peacock saw this on rental and multiple times on TV. Interesting. So the TV cut is its own fun, just like the RoboCop TV
Yep.
fun. Interesting. Calbot says only saw this for the first time a few years ago. Thought it looked dumb when it came out, but I heard good things over the years. Very
Yeah.
interesting. It has found its place in the industry.
It's definitely has that cult classic kind of energy, like people didn't really appreciate it at first, but with the benefit of retrospective, looking at it, especially where it took place when it came out, I think people are starting to appreciate, what it really means.
Exactly. Mad Matt was mentioning, yeah, the movie was rushed to theaters. Competition with Jurassic Park hurt it.
Yeah, that's the
Absolutely.
best part. Heard everything.
Everything else had gone by the wayside. Everything else was forgotten by the time Jurassic Park came out. John McTiernan at some point even said when we finished wrapping, the movie was in the theaters in like a month.
Yep.
Um, but we can still have a lot of fun because this really is an action movie.
Oh yeah.
It's a cheesy, fun movie. We don't have to think there about it. There's no deep plot, and it just is what it is.
Yep.
Um,
I gotta feel like that axe throw must have been some early CG too. The fact how Arnie just kind of like ducked his head out of the way. It kind of looked sort of fishy, but that's it. That's the action hero has always got the moves to get out of the way.
yeah, that was an interesting scene because I don't think that's was not a practical effect. It didn't even look like a practical
Oh no
effect.
way.
No. Um,
Swifty was
this is it.
Swifty's
Go
right. She
ahead.
says I predated this predated the self awareness boon in films. I think you're probably right. The early '90s, like
Oh.
just because like this film obviously was a satire. A couple years later, Scream would be a satire, a meta thing on horror films and slasher films. So I think you're right.
Uh, yes, Matt, the axe throw looked made for a 3D movie trope because this movie is almost nothing but tropes. I mean,
Yeah.
every single trope that you can imagine was thrown in somewhere. So that's a good catch because I did not catch that. Um, oh,
Yeah.
Miss Swift, I think I first saw it on cable. I liked it. Yep. Johnny Devick, I saw this on VHS rental and liked it. Oh, wow. That's even before DVD rentals.
Oh yeah.
Um, oh yeah, Alex Peacock was mentioning love the beginning of this. It's a great like jumping right into the movie.
Alex
Matt is
Peacock.
saying,
Sorry, Alex
oh,
Peacock also says run down former movie palace. He's right. In fact, I think
mhm.
there's a sign here in a second that says that a Lowe's is about to replace it, which would be prescient because Lowe's and AMC they'd be absorbing all the small town movie palaces pretty soon.
Yeah, and they make that direct reference to that in this movie about the small town. Movie theaters are all getting gobbled up and they're
Yeah.
gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
Um,
That projector, I love how kind of irresponsible he is. The fact he's letting a kid kind of watch his movies in the middle of the day, missing school, is just like, oh yeah, you only be about 4 hours late. It's like, dude, you should have sent him to school in the beginning of the day. What are you doing?
and if he didn't show up at school, this was still at the time where they would call your house looking for you.
Absolutely.
And if they didn't get a hold of your parent, they'd track you down.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I've got some insight about this Hamlet scene in a moment, but I'll save it.
Yeah, this is like a movie within the movie and a parody within the parody.
That's right.
And absolutely, when they do the parodies, it's so blatant. It's so hard to take this movie seriously. And just from the sounds of it, everybody is, making a really good point to the fact that it wasn't until this came on to the rental market and it hit the cable circuit when it got far removed from the original blasting of the critics that it really found its footing.
Alex P. got to
Because it,
saying we should watch Olivier's Hamlet some point. I would not be against that, Alex. I could really get into some
ooh,
Shakespeare.
ooh, that would be like a really highbrow one.
Oh yeah. And here's where the parody begins.
You can just you talk about an all-star cast.
Oh yeah.
Um, you can't shake a stick in this movie without hitting someone that's
Yeah.
famous or a reference or a trope.
Yeah. Grant,
Yep, this with Sir Laurence Olivier as Hamlet.
yeah. To be or not to be. Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. To be or not to be, uh, that is the question for whether it is
Nobler.
nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or by opposing end them, to die to sleep no more, and to sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. And for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we shuffle off this mortal coil must give us pause. And that's all I remember.
Wow.
Sorry, that's my little teacher moment, chat. Sorry, I teach this stuff for a living. I love Shakespeare.
Um, when I was in high school, I could have recited that, as probably all of you could as well,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm so far removed.
Yeah, when I was in high school, my English teacher, especially in Romeo and Juliet, made us memorize a soliloquy from the play. I can still recite Romeo's when he first sees
Mm.
Juliet, from below the balcony. I can still recite that, but I'll save you from that for now.
Uh, Miss Swift just
Yep.
posted a
What
a
dreams may
GIF over
come.
there on Discord. That's What Dreams May Come
Yep, that's where
with
the line
Robin
comes from. There you
Williams.
go, Swifty.
Yep, great, great movie.
It was a great film. Yeah, yeah. We should maybe
Hmm.
should add that to the list.
That would be a great movie to watch. Very layered, very nuanced. This movie that we're watching is very layered,
Oh yeah.
not on a deep scale, but you know, anybody that was a kid like this kid is that loved going to the movie and that maybe found solace in going to the movie
Yeah.
like he did can relate. Um, yeah, I can remember a time in my youth, movies were life.
Oh yeah. Still are for me.
Yes, Mad Matt, that scene from Shrek, ogres have layers, onions have layers. You get it? We both have layers. Yes.
I have to say though, the one scene that doesn't still doesn't make much sense to me is this one that's coming up. Him with the burglar. I'm just not sure what it's here to do, really, other than to just fill up some runtime. I mean, I'm not sure what it's meant to do other than to, make the kid actor here question his constitution, his willpower. But I watch it and I keep wondering, like, what is the scene really doing in this film? Because it doesn't have literally any consequences for anything moving forward.
Unless it is setting this kid up for what happens to him later, maybe giving us
Yeah.
context for what he develops into.
Well, I suppose.
Um,
But we kind
you're
of get
right,
that
and that
without
says
him
it,
even
it
saying it.
gets us to the police station because he's at some point got to get out of the house.
Right. But he would have done that anyway. So it's like, really, what are we using our time for here?
Right, because he was supposed to go back to the movies at midnight to
Yep.
see the new Jack Slater movie.
Yep.
Um,
And his mother would have reacted the same
uh,
way when he finally returns. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm just not sure what they put it in there for.
Alex is saying show off 90s New York. Could be. Um,
Alex is asking me, have you seen the video of the Royal Shakespeare Company, including current and past Hamlets and Charles III, doing readings of To Be or Not to Be? That is a question, which is basically on inflections. No, Alex, I didn't, but I have viewed several Royal Shakespeare Company iterations of Hamlet, and I even have one or two in my own collection on DVD.
ooh.
So I have seen a few of those, but I haven't seen His Royal Highness doing them lately. Calbot also says, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps with a steady pace from Macbeth. Calbot, I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. I'll answer you with that from Macbeth.
Well, you know what? That connects us as well because I'm sure every one of us at some point in your high school was made to study uh, Shakespeare. We did Romeo and Juliet. Um, I think we might have done Macbeth.
Oh, you got
And
to
at
do
some point,
Macbeth.
I learned Hamlet as well. Um, but everybody's forced to.
Yep. I think Alex mentioned Brannig's Hamlet, which I have in my collection. But Alex, I would also say Brannig's Othello was also really good.
Mm.
That had Lawrence Fishburne as Othello in there. Really solid movie adaptation too.
Oh, Miss Swift is also pointing out that the burglary makes him miss the viewing. That's true because he was late to the theater.
Well, true, but I mean it happens anyway. So still, I'm kind of
Yeah.
wondering like why it's there. Alex says
Matt,
I got to watch the Gibson version. He's referring to Hamlet. Happily, didn't have to suffer the 5 hours of the Brannigs. Well, because Brannick did every scene of the play, Alex. I mean, I can kind of respect him for that, but I agree. The runtime, having to put it on two separate discs, is a lot.
wow.
And yes, Brannig's Iago, definitely amazing. He's what I see when I think of Iago. When I read Iago, I think I see Brannig in my mind. But back to the film. Now we're getting the lore with um, oh man, with Houdini having provided like the magic, the ticket, the magical MacGuffin here. Anybody have any experience with Houdini? Or, well, I mean, he's been dead for many years, of course, but
Yeah, not personal experience.
yeah.
Um, just what, I'm a big fan of documentaries, so it's just what information's been floating out there. A lot of the, not stigma, but a lot of the mystery surrounding his death. Um, a lot of people still think it was one thing, but it could have been another that caused
Yeah,
his death.
yeah,
Um, yeah, fascinating guy.
yeah. Calbot says everyone's favorite English teacher from my high school just passed away this weekend, the age of 89. I'm sorry to hear that, my man.
At the age of 89, wow, that's a full life.
Oh yeah.
And he probably taught for most of his life, right? Was he at the same school? So like everybody would have him. Oh, interesting tidbit. The words of Columbo film appeared on the screen at the beginning of Jack Slater 4 Columbu,
Right.
however you pronounce it, is a bodybuilder friend of Schwarzenegger's.
Huh. That's interesting. I never knew that. That's cool.
Anthony Quinn,
There we go. Quinn the Eskimo.
legendary actor. Art Carney as well.
Yep.
These gentlemen have both passed.
Yep.
Um, they were legendary back in the day.
Alex Peacock Frizzell, do you have favorite movie adaptations used in class? Actually, I have an animated abridged version of Shakespeare that I think was done on HBO back in the late 80s, early 90s, where they kind of abridged many of Shakespeare's most famous plays into about 30-minute segments that kind of covered the whole play, but in different animation styles, some of them being 2D, some of them being stop motion. So I do use those as kind of, I give them to my students as kind of an overview so they can see the whole action of the play before we get into the nitty gritty of it. Um, but if you're talking about specific film adaptations, like Macbeth, for example, I think I rely on the Ian McKellen version more often when I'm showing film bits of that. And if I'm doing Othello, I usually do Brannig's version, or Hamlet, I'll use his version too, bits and pieces. But the Royal Shakespearean Company also has like the snippets of plays, pretty much scene by scene, also available on the web, so I kind of use those too. But back to Anthony Quinn and Art Carney, we got two legends up there.
Matt posted Anthony Quinn was Zeus in the Legends of Hercules.
Yep,
And Art Carney, yes.
the
Lest we
Honeymooners.
forget, he was in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
He also was nominated for an Oscar in a much later film. I forget what it's called, but he had like a pet cat with him, and they were like going on a road trip. Chat. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Hmm, no. But we can do a quick search
Alex,
of
I'm not sure if
Art.
Twelfth Night was in claymation. I think The Tempest was, but I'm not sure if that one was done in claymation.
Yeah, Alex Peacock, Charles Dance, chewing scenery like a champ.
Oh yeah, love Charles Dance in
He
this.
he just steals the screen every time he's there.
Oh yeah.
Um, yep, okay. Matt is, man, you're on fire posting these references. Charles Dance was the villain in Space Truckers. He was also the villain in The Golden Child.
Yep. My
I
sweet
mean,
Rabanumsi.
when does he not play a villain? Oh, there was a movie he didn't play a villain. Um, I forgot
The
what the
Imitation
name of the
Game?
movie is, but I think it was during Game of Thrones, where he played uh, Lannister, whatever he was a bad dude.
Hmm.
But he was the father of a quadriplegic who was ending his life, and he was a sympathetic father in that one. But that was one of the few times you actually see him as a sensitive character.
Hmm. I think Alex also posted a GIF of him from the Imitation Game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was also, working for the good guys in that one too.
Oh yes, I think he was. Wasn't he the one that hired the crew for the um, the secret assignment?
Yeah, the code breaking. Yeah, I think he was either the
Yeah,
supervisor or the head guy in charge. Yep.
head guy. Matt is saying all the cameos burn me out of today's homework. I mean, basically every scene of this movie, there is a trope, there
Oh
is
yeah.
a pop culture reference, um, there is some kind of movie reference. Where it really gets a lot of fun is when they actually directly poke fun at Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Because in this movie, he's the actor playing Jack Slater, but there is a lot of crossover to real life
Yep.
where he's also Schwarzenegger.
Yep. And of course, you got the great like villain tropes, like a countdown, but he's just like pulling cards out. That was definitely new, but definitely runs along the same line. And unless I'm mistaken, there's a
Yep.
little musical cue to Lethal Weapon right here with the saxophone,
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
with the cop in the tree here.
Yep, there's the trope 2 days to retirement, gets whacked 2 days away from retirement. Which is also a nod to Lethal Weapon.
That's right. Well, I guess it's that like over the top action film that just was so
Yep.
popular, and this one was kind of the one that was like this is like the scream for action movies,
Just
where in itself it,
embodied all of the action movies. Even John McTiernan poked fun at his action movies that he had done.
yep, but it in itself is also a great action movie, just like Scream was also a great horror movie.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Swift. Thank you for that. Charles Dance as the Phantom.
Oh wow,
What is that image of him with the earrings and the blouse on the staircase? That's not him as the Phantom, is it?
um,
Should I know that? I should probably know where.
it looks like Sacha Baron Cohen in that scene, unless I'm mistaken, but I can't place it.
Yeah, if you click on that image, it's him doing a booty dance. So it's got to be some kind of parody reference.
Alex Peacock,
Alex
I'm sure
Peacock.
it was. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Alex is asking, was this the same house used in Speed?
Could have been. Or at least, well, similar setting anyway.
Could be.
Here's a question for the chat. What kind of car is Slater driving there? In terms of like movie cars, not the most famous in the world, but definitely seems unique, that kind of convertible.
Is that also a trope about the cool cops always driving the cool cars?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, you look at Starsky and Hutch, you look at, Knight Rider, they always had the cool car.
Yeah. Um, Fun fact, we see very briefly, you saw the driver of that vehicle. His name is Hingy, I think that's how you pronounce it. He is a stuntman galore. He has done everything and he has had such a long career.
Mm.
And he's also the ex-husband of Lindsay Wagner,
Oh,
who is known as the Bionic Woman.
yep.
Oh, Miss Swift, thank you. The GIF is from the Ali G movie.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Another reference, guys. Um, Thank you, Matt. In Last Action Hero, legendary stuntman Leong dies in a memorable comedic scene where he is impaled in the back of the head by a flying ice cream cone.
Yep. He was also one of Hans Gruber's men in Die Hard,
Yep, exactly.
the guy that was eating the Crunch Bar.
Yep, and he has been in everything. He was in a
Oh
movie that
yeah.
we watched not too long ago, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, Alex is saying, yeah, driving the car that has no business handling like that. Yes, and the trope of him hands off the wheel, firing behind him, not losing control.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think this is a on purpose nod to the scene in Terminator 2, right? I think when they're driving in the
The
uh,
aqueduct.
yeah, what do they call it? Aqueduct
I feel like
or
I've seen this LA aqueduct in so many
overflow.
movies. I feel like I want to go to LA just to visit the aqueducts because so many movies have had scenes filmed there.
Yeah, in the same kind of overlay that Terminator 2 had, they're just playing it up here.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex Peacock, thank you. Sony product placement, the mini disc, what he plugged that music into, right? Because 93 you would have a cassette player, you'd have radio and a cassette.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a CD player in 93.
Yeah, I think CDs came like first grew in popularity like 89, 90s, or when they were first released anyway. So they probably would have just been, becoming popular around that time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Miss Swift. Another Al Leong appearance. We last saw him in Action Jackson. Yeah,
There
I
you
believe
go.
that's what it
Yep.
was. Mm, hmm.
Johnny Devick says GTA 5 had some good missions in those canals. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like so many you're not really a good action movie if you're in LA, you got to have the aqueducts in there somewhere. Which is funny cuz as I understand with California being a very warm and dry place, why they would have such huge aqueducts like that, but
A lot of them, I think, are out of commission.
yeah.
Um, there he is. There is Henry. Can't remember. Kingi Kinji. I think Kinji is how you
Hmm.
pronounce it. And I believe he's still active in the industry today. Maybe not as a stuntman, but maybe on the administrative side of it.
Cool.
Um, okay, if you're a movie full of references and tropes, here we have a bunch of skimpily clad ladies for no reason.
That's right. Well, you
Um,
got
and this is exactly how this kid who has now crossed into the movie world, he's having a ball. He can recognize movie sets when he sees it
Oh yeah.
without a doubt. And I bet we all could too. If we got thrust into a movie, we'd be able to point him out just like this kid can.
And that's also why
Ah,
this movie is so good, just because it is really like a movie for like movie fans, especially those of the late 80s, early 90s.
yep. Yep. Sharon Stone.
Oh, here we go.
Not only and did we see the Terminator? Was that the scene where we're supposed to see Robert Patrick as the
Yep,
Terminator coming out the door?
T-1000. Yep.
Yep. Not only does that Sharon Stone reference back to Basic Instinct, but it's also when they starred in Total Recall.
Yep. I think that cop that was calling Slater was also the security guard in Terminator 2, the one that came down and, said, "Hey, you can't leave the desk." And he's like, "Oh, crap." And he, calls the cops to bring everybody in. I think he was in there too.
Interesting. Okay, Matt is saying all the boxes say Acme Storage, and Matt also pointed out at the beginning of the movie that there was that Acme reference as well. Now we have a cartoon cat that's showing up
Yeah.
in the studio.
Yep.
Here we go. We're in the police station. We have a whole ton of new tropes and references.
Hmm. F. Murray Abraham.
F. Murray Abraham. And I think in a scene or two, you'll notice that there is a direct reference to him as an actor in another role.
That's right. Yep.
Um, so we've got a little bit of movie within a movie within a movie. So it's like they all exist in the same universe, but they can't all be in the same universe because of what happens later.
Danny's even
Yes.
referencing Amadeus right there, and he's like, he killed
Yep.
Mozart. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yep. And of course, that's what he kind of did in Amadeus that came out a couple years prior.
Oh yeah.
Um, Matt, yes, Cartoon Cat is voiced by none other than Danny DeVito, and
Hmm.
of course, him and Schwarzenegger were in Twins,
Yep.
which would make that would be a great watch party.
Oh yeah, definitely. Apparently, I mean, they apparently really hit it off too. They became good friends, and still talk with each other. They were like pranking on each other during the filming. So yeah.
I bet they had great chemistry.
Oh yeah. Alex Peacock says, "Oh, he was driving a Pontiac Bonneville, but Bonneville. Okay, never
Oh,
heard of it, but yeah, sounds about right."
okay, maybe one of you guys can answer this. So we have the trope of the desk sergeant, the screaming maniac. This guy always screams. That's the trope. What is the trope with the TV behind him? Is it just
Just showing natural
chaos?
disasters.
Yeah. I
Just
haven't quite understood that reference, or it was just some random whatever was on the TV. But I don't think anything was placed in this movie by accident. It was
yeah.
all for a purpose.
Well, there's a nuclear explosion behind him, so maybe it's representing his anger and his effusiveness. The fact he's like always angry and screaming, like the classic, police lieutenant is always doing.
Yep. It could be.
Because there's a volcanic eruption behind him too.
It just seems so random, but I don't think it is.
No, I don't think so either. I think you're right.
Um, oh, thank you, Miss Swift. Given that we just saw Dirty Harry last week, poking fun at their own tendency to pair him with improbable partners. Yeah. Alex Peacock, I love Twins too. It's a fun movie.
Calbot saying, predicting
Oh,
Volcano. You know what would be another good watch party? Volcano from 1997, Tommy Lee
oh.
Jones. I hardly ever see that film anymore, but I remember when it came out, I watched it a lot when it was on rental, but then it just kind of vanished. But that's a great disaster film from the late 90s.
Did at the beginning of the '90s weren't there a couple of the volcano
Well, yeah,
eruption under?
there was Dante's Peak. I think came out right around the same time, but it was in the late '90s that that disaster movie, Resurrection was kind of happening.
Okay, that's why that movie sounds familiar. Volcano from '97 was Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche.
Yep, and
Oh,
also
all-star
Linda
cast in this
Hamilton.
movie. Oh, Alex is saying Volcano is on Disney Plus.
Oh,
Albot
really?
says I seen it twice. It's really boring.
I don't know about that. It has some good destruction scenes anyway. Old Johnny Devick says saw Volcano on a friend's Laserdisc. Now we're talking. See a
Ooh.
movie on Laserdisc, you know it's high quality.
Um, yeah, I was thinking that would be a really fun drinking game for this movie. Is every time there's a reference movie or pop culture, you take a drink. But I think I don't want to contribute to everybody being shit faced at the end
Uh,
of this movie because you would be.
Way ahead of you.
Um,
Wow.
I got my root beer, my water.
Oh, I love this scene, the blockbuster scene here.
Yep, this is classic. This absolutely pokes fun at the Stallone Schwarzenegger like rivalry. Um, it absolutely pokes fun because so if you want to
Sure.
make your head spin, Schwarzenegger is playing Slater in an imaginary movie which exists in the real hemisphere world of his movies. That's why they have the poster of Terminator 2, but everything is off. However, look closely at the movies on the shelves here. They are real movies,
Oh
but
yeah.
some of them go by so fast that you're not going to be able to see them.
Yeah.
Agatha
I,
Christie's something Hunt for Red October
I saw
is right
Dracula.
there. Um, yeah, if any of you all could see it, Coppola's Dracula,
Yep.
but yeah, that poster of
Die Hard is
Stallone
there too.
is a
Oh, he's right next to
direct.
his hand. There we go. I love how all these attractive women are just, not the only the only customers are just beautifully attractive women.
But I mean, the kid has a good point. And Schwarzenegger has a good point because California in this LA area, it's full of, nothing but beautiful people. Um, but this movie really goes overboard. Not only are there all just beautiful people, but they are what? Dressed so inappropriately.
With latex.
Um, yeah, but it's fun.
It is fun. Swifty says
Um,
single white female poster on the post in the background. Oh, I missed that one. But I
See,
did
there were quite a
see it.
few.
Yeah.
So I'm
They're
sure
all
they went
real
into
though.
a real blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, oh yeah, Johnny Devitt, video store and a film about film after video stores went away. Very good point.
Bugsy and Boys in the Hood. There we go.
Oh, Alex is saying Medicine Man, Medicine Man with Connery.
Connery. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Alex, I think they must have just slightly redressed a working blockbuster. Yeah, because the second you went in, it did have a blockbuster vibe.
Yeah.
Um, but for licensing reasons, I'm sure they pulled some of it off
Yeah.
and hid it.
I love the sarcasm that Slater's using here.
We have a trope, unlikely duos, and they're now partners.
Yeah. Buddy Cop. Burt Braunschweiger. I like that he had to make fun of his own name.
Yeah, I really adore this movie that it just doesn't poke fun at itself and it knows what it is, embraces it.
Yeah.
Even though when I take a step back and just look at the movie, it is kind of a mess. Um, it kind of is all over the place. I think they threw everything at it and hope it stuck.
Yeah.
Some of it didn't. A lot of it did, though.
Yeah.
Um, okay, good point. Johnny Devick, imagine this movie on Netflix, no cinema, no film premiere, no film projectionist. Um, Imagine you knew nothing about it and you saw it.
Yeah. I love he also lampoons his "I'll be back" thing in there too. Everyone tries to see you work it in. It's like your calling card.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Now that Butler, I remember he would always play a heavy as a bad guy in movies, and for some reason I can only think of him in Three Ninjas. Chat, do you remember who that guy is? Am I just whistling Dixie here?
No, you're spot on. Matt is way ahead of you over in Discord. He's in Running Man. Pee Wee Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Oh yeah, he's got a long career as well. He always
Oh
plays the
yeah.
heavy because that's just his persona. What is his real name? Matt put. I mean, his name is Professor Tanaka.
I think that was, yeah,
That's what
part
I
of his
think. That's what
stage
he
name.
called himself, right? When he was. It says he was a wrestler. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
he was into martial arts, but
Swifty says Professor Toru Tanaka in Running Man and a lot of others.
yep. Passed away in 2000.
Wow.
Ugh.
Shame.
Oof. All right, I might have to mute. My allergies are kicking in and my nose is getting plugged. All right.
It's that time of year. Just imagine being a wolf on the internet full of fuzz.
Ugh. And yeah, plus I had to spend a week in my wood shop, so I think I inhaled too
Oof.
much sawdust. But we're all good. Johnny Devick, he felt like he could be in Austin Powers. It feels like he was.
Yeah, Johnny Devick says Alan Rickman should have done this in his Prince of Thieves mouth. And yes, I could see
Ooh.
Alan Rickman and Charles Dance's role here. I'm going to find out more about Slater's friend.
Oh, that would have just been a great trope to
Oh, this
put
movie would have
Alan
been
Rickman in.
immortalized forever.
Yeah, this would have been his moment. Um, Actually, Charles Dance, I believe, was not the first choice, and he had to take over because someone dropped out.
It's quite a long walk for that pun that Slater just gave, but I love it. It's what these action heroes were all about back then. Johnny Devick, he could have brought a spoon. Gonna cut your heart out with a spoon. That was a great flick, in spite
Wow.
of Costner's lack of an accent.
Thank you, Matt. Alan Rickman was offered the role but turned it down because of the low salary.
That's
Well, Jack Slater has got to keep this kid around for some reason because that's just what you do in the movie.
that's right.
But he's not believing that he's actually in a movie, even though the kid knows everything there is to know.
Yep.
Ah, and here we have his attractive daughter showing up to the door in a bathrobe. At least, because it would be inappropriate if she was like naked
Oh God.
and greeting her father at the door naked. That would be weird.
Oh yeah. But I'm sure Slater would
That
have an
one,
explanation for that too.
yeah, probably. And it wouldn't be weird because they're in a movie.
Yep.
Um, his daughter is played by Bridget Wilson. At
Mm,
this time, she was known as Bridget Wilson.
yep.
Um, and her character's name is Whitney.
Yep.
And at this time, I believe, she was either dating Pete Sampras or like right around the time they get married. I'd have to do research, but Pete Sampras was, I think, the number one seeded tennis player in the world right about this time.
Hmm.
And they went on to get married and live happily ever after.
Huh.
Oh, so the character in the movie is having flashback from another movie he was in.
Slater two or three? Might have been three.
Because if we're in four, so it would have been three, the previous movie. And so now we know this is another trope. This is Jack Slater's trauma, is because Ripper took his son with him when he went off the
Yeah.
roof. And it's hard to feel sad for fictional characters' death, but this is okay. That was kind of
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Well, I like when Slater's pulled into the real world. I mean, he says, yeah, it's fine that everyone thinks it's fun, but you have nightmares the rest of your life. It really shows that these characters, it's like even though they're in the film, they're trying to be like real people and they have real feelings.
As they usually are written when they're trying to make the stars human instead of just action stars. They're supposed to have that soft side,
Yeah.
right? What's with okay, so Charles Dance, his character's name is Benedict. So
Yep.
what do we know about Benedict's glass eye or that the fake eye? What's the origin on that?
That's a good question.
Does anybody know? Are we given that explanation in this movie? His backstory?
In the film, no, but I wouldn't be shocked if if they, in special features later on, if they had built some kind of backstory there. But I don't know that we are told in the film how or why he lost the eye. Only that it's part of his calling card is the fact that he's got the exchangeable eyes every time.
Well, you're right. That's his signature, his calling card. Um, yeah, I guess it makes him a more colorful, charismatic bad guy.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think it's funny here
so
that
I
he's quoting Sherlock Holmes, another fictional character, in terms of like, spouting off like, why, if you eliminate the impossible, whatever's left, however illogical, must be true. It's like he's using fictional character logic in order to build his thing. I think that's just really good writing there.
yeah. Yeah, it is. A lot of this is very cleverly written and crafted in this movie. Um, so a little tidbit, and I've heard this from several different sources, and it's now showing up on my Amazon rental X-ray. Charles Dance had said in an interview after he had got the part from Alan Rickman because Alan Rickman wanted too much money. Charles Dance would wear a T-shirt on the set that says "I'm cheaper than Alan Rickman," and it says Tim Curry was also considered for the role.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that too.
That would be interesting.
Yep. Though he did play kind of a parody of evil bad guys in action movies in Loaded Weapon 1, I remember.
It also, well, it says Charles Dance replaced Timothy Dalton.
Huh. That would have been interesting.
So, so we have conflicting story. I didn't know Timothy Dalton was up for that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, Miss Swift. Okay. Uh, okay, Miss Swift says one of the women in the video store was model slash actor Bobby Brown from music videos, Star Search winner and ex-wife of Jenny Lane from Warren.
Huh.
There you go. Yeah, okay, we can laugh at this. She's getting the crap beat out of her because she really is now beating the crap out of him and enjoying it.
Yep. God, I miss the 90s.
It was a great decade, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just not just the films, but the interior decorating. It's God. I just miss the 90s. So that's the second time in this movie someone's referenced a color with like brain matter. Charles Dance obviously being the first.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder what that reference is. Well, there's a lot of orange in this scene. We have pink in some of the earlier scenes. Um, okay, what's the reference to this kid showing up at the door? Was this
Well,
random?
well, in the beginning, she had said like, "You're not skeevy, are you?" Like it was part of an initiation, so she was expecting when she kissed Danny's character, she was expecting that character to show up first, part of like some sort of school group initiation thing. So that was the payoff for that.
That's right. That's actually the kid who she was supposed to kiss at the door.
Yep, that
Totally
is.
escaped me. Yep, these guys all shoot like stormtroopers.
Yep. Now look at the mitt on Schwarzenegger, though. Jeez Louise.
Yep. That line, "Don't give up your day job," it's a very common line. What movie in particular was he referring to? Is there one?
That one I'm not sure about.
Um, yeah, there's, um, well, I don't know. It's not a rumor. I think because Schwarzenegger later confirmed that this was like this flop when it happened really, really got to him.
Yeah,
And it kind of messed him up for Hollywood for a while because he had such a run of hit movies.
yeah,
Um, he was a very, very bankable star.
yeah,
Before this movie, I think his last one was, I think it was True Lies, right?
yeah.
That
Or it
Nope,
might have been
True Lies
Terminator,
came out in '94. Um,
because I
I
think this
think
came out in
Terminator 2.
'93.
Yeah, this came out in '93. What would have been his movie previous? Because he had nothing but hits.
Yeah, but I think it was too cerebral for people. I think there was like too many layers to this film, and people were just expecting like another big action movie, and it's like it has some of that, but it's like there's other stuff going on behind the scenes too.
Yeah, and maybe they were expecting the realistic action movies that he had been in.
Right, not like
Oh,
something tongue in cheek.
all right. Excuse me.
Swifty says, nice pulling of Charles Daniels stunt double out of the chair there. Well, Swifty, at least it wasn't like Harrison Ford's stunt double, which is, you know, right on the screen for everyone to see during Temple of Doom when he's in the Death Trap cave there. You know, one of the biggest gaffes in movie history.
I I've still got to watch that movie, and I'm going to watch it with an open mind.
Oh man, Sharon, we got to do a watch party of the Temple of Doom. It's definitely my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I know that's controversial.
Well, we've done pretty much all of the other ones, right?
Yeah, we have to by then, by now.
Okay, yeah, we probably just got to get all the ones in the franchise.
Alex, you're
There we
one of
go.
the
Anybody know what that reference was from?
How can you not know?
How can you not know? But that was also a trope of him riding that little girl's bike.
That's right. But I love the
Uh,
idea that he realizes, wait, I'm just the comic relief, and it's just like,
mhm.
yeah, you realize what your role is, and then you play it out. It's part of the satire
uh,
that makes it so good.
yeah, it is really all about satire.
Yeah.
Um, so now we know Benedict has the magic ticket, or as who posted that? The picture of the golden ticket from Willy Wonka. I think Matt posted a picture of the golden ticket, which is basically the heart of this movie, which allows them to go back and forth between worlds.
Alex says even Dial of Destiny, it's poo pooed, but it's actually good. I don't know if I'd go that far,
Oh.
Alex. I would go to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but Dial of Destiny was a bit of a hot mess more than once.
Hmm. Dial of Destiny is the last one to come out, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Where it
Um,
takes place in late '60s, early '70s with a very, very geriatric, unfortunately, Harrison Ford.
so here we see Benedict's collection of eyes.
Hmm.
So they're actually not, yeah, not the contact lenses, because I think Matt had mentioned prior that this was just the coming of the age of the cinematic uh, contact lenses, and they were not user friendly.
Yeah. I have to say that blue one with the yellow iris was the more sinister of all the ones I saw there. But I also like the Twilight Zone reference here too.
Yep, which is giving Benedict the what an idea.
You know, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles had some winners in there. I especially liked where Harrison Ford showed up for one with a story about a trumpet, I think in 1955. Um, but yeah, but I think the problem was they just waited too long to do sequels when they should have done some when they had the shot. You know, when Harrison Ford was still in his 40s at least.
Yeah.
I think they just waited too long till he got too old and then wasn't able to really do all the things he could do. Although I will say, in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he did a lot more than I thought he would be capable of at that age.
Um, Talbot is saying, don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm with Andrew on this and very glad they stopped making Indiana Jones movies in '89. Yeah, and I haven't seen the last two Indiana Jones movies, The Dial of Destiny and The Crystal Skull. I cannot bring myself to seeing those. I know I've seen clips of them, but I cannot bring myself to sitting through all of it. Can't do
Well,
it.
I'll say this. I'll say that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at least was made with the same people that made the first three Indiana Jones movies. So it still has the tone, still has the feel of an Indiana Jones flick, especially when you compare it to Dial of Destiny, which was directed and made by a totally different crew and many years later, where he was just really way too old to be playing the role anymore. But I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is at least worth a watch if you're an indie fan.
This is a great reference. He's just shouting just to shout, and he's really not saying anything that we can understand.
My caption said something about Tiny Tim like walking through the tulips. I don't know if he was just like just ranting random lines really fast, but
Well, did you catch that Bogart was in black and white
oh yeah,
right at the desk?
yeah. That might have been some of the first like I know that that was a trend, especially in the early '90s of like I don't want to say rotoscoping because that wasn't quite it. Chat, maybe you can help me out with this, but they did that with Bogart. They did that with Groucho Marx in a commercial for like Coca Cola and stuff. It was like they were like taking old actors that had passed and kind of cutting them out of the film and putting them on screen.
Yeah, what would they call that? They're taking old footage and putting it into newer movies.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but it was in commercials for a little while. I remember, and then they kind of stopped doing it, probably for ethical reasons, if nothing else.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Great, great references in his house. Um, Obviously, he's got a bed, nothing else, because he's not there often.
That's right.
But the guy in the closet, there's always a guy in the closet. That is just a classic wink wink to all these cop action movies.
Yep. Because we never see their where they actually like live. They're always like on the job or always in the
Yep.
precinct or out in the field or whatever. So yeah, that I think it was a
And his
great.
apartment would look exactly what we would expect. Uh,
Yep.
okay, Johnny Devitt, really good point. Forrest Gump did the old footage good. Yes, Forrest Gump was another one that used old footage from what they superimposed him with JFK.
Yep.
What else did they do? I think in the 80s, did they do with one of the presidents from the 80s as well?
Yep. Well,
Uh,
LBJ and they did
yep,
John Lennon and Dick Cavett and a
that's
few
right,
others.
Dick Cavett.
And that came out the year after this did, I think.
Oh, that's a good question. Did Forrest Gump really, is that old?
94, I think so. Yeah.
94? You're right.
Ah, great
Uh,
flick.
so this movie is considered a flop at the box office. The budget is supposedly 85 million, box
Hmm.
office 137, and they still they consider it a loss.
Yeah.
Um, that's not enough back in the day for them to consider it a success.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Swift is saying they had him with, okay, LBJ, right? JFK, LBJ, and Nixon.
Yep.
Maybe it was Nixon.
Yep. The whole and then they spoofed the whole like Watergate thing as like Gump was the one that alerted the authorities in the first place to the you know whole theft. So that was fun.
There's some really good documentaries about Watergate, really diving deep into that crime. Um, yeah, a lot of good podcasts, a lot of interesting books written about it.
Yep.
Leo the Fart. Leo the Fart, who's going to have his um, funeral on the top of a building. John McTiernan actually just literally poking fun at himself.
Yeah. And honestly, this next scene coming up with Lafarte and the whole action sequence, probably one of the best in the film, one of the coolest action scenes I can remember. But that's what you gotta do. If you want to make a satire of a certain genre, you gotta also like make it like authentically part of that genre by having films like this.
Yeah. And the trope of them all, they figured it out. They figured out Leo the Fart is going to fart one more time and release the gas. This is literally John McTiernan poking fun at himself with the helicopter circling the
Right.
building with the funeral.
Oh yeah, I bet Hyatt made some good money off of this too.
Yeah, everything in red. This
Yep.
funeral is very red in color. That's got to be on purpose.
Yep. And Benedict is always wearing white. I also noticed too.
Hmm,
Timex.
I wonder.
I used to have one of those for a long time.
Oh, Johnny Devick, number 23 on the box office. Jurassic Park was number one. Oh,
Oh yeah.
most definitely. Most definitely. Everything got pounded
Yeah.
when Jurassic Park came on
Oh
screen.
yeah. I mean, it was the highest grossing movie of the time. I remember. I
Hmm.
remember being scared out of my pants when watching that movie. I don't know why my parents took me to it, but it was really scary. And I also remember, and I kind of looked at that film as like a historical set piece where CGI really kind of took off after that movie is. So I kind of look at it
Oh
as
yeah.
like a tent pole in terms of movie history.
Um, literally, so the internet says, so this movie came out June 13th, and Jurassic Park came out the 11th. So this movie had no chance.
No chance. Another fun bit of
Oh,
trivia is that Carnosaur, which was another story about a scientist cloning dinosaurs, actually came out in book form before Crichton wrote his novel. But when they tried to make a movie of it, they waited because they actually thought that it would be confused as being ripping off Jurassic Park, even though it came out before Jurassic Park did.
F. Murray Abraham showing up in this movie is some kind of just random casting.
Yeah,
He must have had fun with this
yeah. There's so
because
many veteran actors.
he usually plays heavy dramatic roles, and he gets to lighten up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Um,
Apparently, I saw an interview with him on 60 Minutes the other day. Apparently, the F in his name doesn't really mean anything. I think his first name is Murray, but he just went with that because it just looked more distinguished.
I buy that. Yeah, the kid's right. Typical villain. Had to do his exposition, but it turns out
But then
double
he's talking
crossed.
too much too.
Yeah, the kid should have just shot him.
Swifty says the man who played Frank uh, Pentangeli in The Godfather 2 was one of the mobsters on the roof. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, because we got to poke fun at mobsters and the mafia. We have the all of the gangs, the mafia mob bosses up there on the roof for the funeral, which makes no
Yep.
sense because they would never be at a funeral together. They would never
Yep.
do that.
Yep. Well, Calbot's saying Chekhov's handcuff key. You know what, Calbot? Maybe that's the reason for the burglary in the very beginning of the film. They took a handcuff key. Maybe that's
Hmm.
why that whole scene existed, so he would have a key in his pocket that he could use later. I never really thought of that.
Ah, could be.
Could be. Whiskers.
Danny DeVito. There is no mistaking his voice.
Yep. And it worked in Roger Rabbit, which makes me wonder, like, why they didn't try to. Well, I say that. I was about to say why they don't try doing more like animated characters with live action. They did do it, you know, a couple times, but it just never seemed to work as well as with Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that was a groundbreaking, just great film
Oh yeah,
overall. It had everything going for it.
yeah, yeah. I got that in my collection too.
Yeah, it's a good one to have. Um, yeah, it could be. Matt posted over in Discord. Arnold Schwarzenegger's first credit as a producer was the fourth annual Arnold Schwarzenegger Bodybuilding Classic in '92, where he served as executive producer. However, his first major feature film producing credit was as an executive producer for this movie.
Hmm.
And yeah, that could be why he really took the failure of this movie really hard.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he went into hiding pretty much after it got decimated at the box office and everybody just trashed it.
Yeah.
And then at this time he was still really good friends with James Cameron, and I guess Cameron kind of got him out of it, or at least helped get him out of his funk.
Yeah. Cowbot posted a GIF. Cowbot, is that Cool Cat with, I can't remember, Paula
Paula
Abdul,
Abdul. Yep.
Opposites Attract? Is that what the video was? Man, that takes
Yeah, the music video, that's right.
I remember Frank Ocean tried to do some of that with get out of my dreams and into my car. It didn't work out as well for him though.
Oh, um, yeah, what was his name? I remember that.
Frank Ocean?
Um, oh,
Get
was it
out
Frank?
of my dreams, get into my car. It's an
Danny
80s
Ocean, I
classic.
think, is more contemporary. Um, Billy Ocean. That's who it
Oh,
was. Billy
oh, my
Ocean.
bad.
Very close. There's a direct reference to all of these big props. They're made by the Acme company. All
Nah,
of these Acme props.
I love that he's carrying this corpse around and people are like, "Don't shoot, you'll hit." You know, it's
Uh,
like-
so it's like a comedy of errors. Everything is happening on this rooftop. Everything is falling into place, and it shouldn't. Um, Everybody's got a gun. Everybody's shooting. No one's getting hit. And there's a nun. Yes, Johnny Devick. Nuns with guns.
That's right.
They've just gone overboard.
But this elevator scene is one of my favorite action scenes in movies still to this day.
Uh, and I give everybody in the special effects department, everybody in the whatever department that brought this movie to life, they had a budget of, what did I say? Like
85
50
million?
million?
Oh,
85 million.
no.
Um, and so back in the day, 85 million. I mean, they really did put on a good show for 85 million, and it works.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? The only reason this scene works so well, Mr. Furzel, is because it shouldn't work. It is so goofy.
That's right.
And it takes every action movie sequence of this type, throws it all together, and it just works.
Yep. I mean, I'm looking at this and I even see like some of True Lies with the helicopter shooting out the windows next to a, high rise. It's just, yeah, I think you're right. It just works for what it is.
Exactly. And True Lies, that would be another really good watch party. And that
Oh
works
yeah.
on a whole other level. It takes itself a little bit more serious, but it's still a really fun ride full of action.
Oh yeah.
Ah, Johnny Devick, I heard a podcast about Cool World the other day, not as polished as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
really.
Cool World. It's an interesting movie. That's the one with Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
I remember that had a lot of hype when I was a kid. I remember that came out and there were like hype for the movie and the video games, the tie-ins and everything else, and then it just evaporated so quickly and I was like, "Man, where'd that movie go?" And then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, now I get it."
Um, the initial Google search that it only got 14 million
Yeah.
in the box office. That's it.
Yeah, wasn't I think they were trying to do another like Roger Rabbit kind of flick. It just didn't mesh together as well as they would have hoped.
And Cool World came out in 92.
Yep. Anyone in chat? Anyone ever been to the La Brea Tar Pits? Because I assume that's where they filmed this, or at least part of this, or maybe recreated it. Because I saw this again. I know they showed this a little bit in like Volcano and in Speed, I think. So it looks familiar.
Yeah, I think the tar pits are an actual exhibition.
Yeah. But you look, you can see the little trench that they, dug out for him to like crawl out of that just has like some murky water in it.
Yeah. Johnny Devick says, yep. Calbot says I was there in 96.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A tartar. El Johnny says, I ate a tartar Friday, if that helps.
If that helps. Nah, not the same thing.
Smells like a road construction site? Yeah, I bet. With
I
the
bet.
smell of tar, probably smells like asphalt.
Yeah,
But they got the
Kid's got a good
dinosaurs
point.
there.
Yeah, the tar actually does stick to people. Um, that that lifted truck reminds me of that could come right out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well, the fact they had dinosaurs in the scene there, I don't think it was like a knock at it, but could have just as easily been they had planned it that way.
So I think it's all part of the LA vibe.
Yeah.
And since it's the tar pits are in LA, it's a great ending to the scene in a true action movie style.
Yeah. And Swifty's showing the gif of Bigfoot out there. I remember in the late '80s where Bigfoot was really big to the point he had like his own Saturday morning cartoon and a couple
Mhm.
of crossovers and stuff. So I remember when that was probably the heyday for monster truck popularity.
I think it's they're still pretty popular. I remember
Yeah.
in the even in the 2000 monster truck rallies were all the rage.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Bigfoot, Gravedigger, and all the rest of them.
Well, it's almost like we're going into the second part of the movie because the first kind of wrapped up, but we have like almost 50 minutes left
Yep.
and we're going to switch gears. Uh, Benedict is like, he's going to be the head honcho. Like all the other bad guys are gone.
Swifty says, I remember the Bigfoot cartoon and robotics being paired with Gem and the holograms. Yeah, I remember that too.
Ooh.
Yeah, those were back in the heyday of Saturday morning cartoons, just before things got shut down.
There's a there's a nod also. He's breaking the fourth wall.
Oh yeah.
I mean, absolutely breaking the fourth wall. But then it seems like okay, so Professor Tanaka is
Yeah.
credited as big strong man, big tough guy. He's got no name in this movie. But Benedict turns around and it looks like he might be talking to the big tough man. But he was definitely breaking the fourth wall.
Oh yeah. I love this scene too,
Uh,
where Slater punishes Benedict for his ex-wife's house.
Blowing up his second cousin's house and then a slap on the wrist for blowing up his ex-wife's
A
house.
real slap on the wrist.
That's funny. All right, so we're going to pivot to movie characters entering the real world. Nothing
Yep.
bad can happen, right?
Yep. Well, Swifty's saying this seems like reference to Shakespeare's asides to the audience as well. You know, Swifty, I never thought of that. Now that we're going back into the real world, I mean, yeah, maybe maybe that was part of McTiernan's tone from the beginning.
Well, it could be. I mean, when you think about it, what didn't he throw at this movie?
Yeah, straight up. Dave's like, you can't go nitpicking every little thing. It's just like step through the portal. It's like,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, interesting. Matt is saying so the movie audience is watching a kid watch a movie. Yeah, that's like 16 walls. So it makes you wonder.
Deadpool.
He got transported into this movie so that if the movie's playing and he got transported into it, would then they see him in the movie? But the movie is not playing at this point,
Right.
but this world is real. Now we're going to see the other side with movie characters in the real world who have to learn how to adapt. And it's
Yeah.
kind of fun seeing these guys in the real world and how everything is different and how they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Well, and you could also say it's like this was the like Danny's print, like the one they were looking at specifically at that theater in New York is the one being corrupted, whereas everyone else is seeing, what was being recorded already.
Ah, could be.
And punching a window with your bare hand, you're gonna break your hand doing that.
Yeah, and he's even Slater's even saying it. Hey, my hand hurts. What's up with that?
And now that I think about it, I wonder if that's also a reference to like the Terminator, where he actually does punch through a windshield, and then the cops try to say like he was on PCP, probably didn't feel it, but broke every bone in his hand later on, blah 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 blah. Or maybe I'm looking too close into it. I don't know.
Oh no, but I remember that reference in Terminator 2 when they were trying to explain to Sarah
Yeah, how it
that
was
no, it
could
wasn't that wasn't what you saw. He was high on PCP. Um, yeah.
Swifty. I don't know if Blimpie's out of business, but if they are, they're definitely probably kind of like Blockbuster. They're probably like still managed like locally by a couple of people, but I think they're if they're not on their way out, they probably are close to it. Up, I can see
And
the
Johnny Depp.
cords.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can see the cords that the cards were pulling before they collided with each other. They're sitting there in the water. They didn't
Um,
do a very good job of hiding some of the, special effects here. Maybe they were thinking we weren't be paying attention to them, but
yeah, because it was rushed, so there are some revealing mistakes, and you can see the not the crew, but you can see some of the what machinery behind the scenes.
yep, yep,
Um, Johnny Devick is saying reminds me of Pleasantville in a way.
yeah, I'd see that.
Yeah,
All right, chat. Be right back. Gotta bleed the lizard.
do your thing. Um, this okay, so we've been at this almost an hour and a half, and it just has flown by. I don't know about you guys, but this doesn't feel like a 2 hour movie. This really is going by really fast. Miss Swift, yes, they didn't bargain on 4K revealing so much detail. I know in the early 2000s, I think that was when this first got a DVD release. Is this actually on 4K? Because that would warm my heart a little bit to know that it was up there in 4K Blu-ray territory. I wonder if I've got that info. Do you have a 4K? Yeah, Calbot, time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, this is a good ride. All right, Alex is, yeah, it's on 4K, watching it right now. Good deal. Robert Roski plays Nick. Um, Anybody else? He's one of those guys. I'm sure he's been in a lot of stuff. Uh, so Nick is quite a movie buff. He just mentioned two movies in his little spiel. Oh, geez. Here we go, Johnny Devick. We should make a movie where we end up inside a watch party, watching the watch party of The Last Action Hero. Yeah. Mad Matt was alluding to that earlier as well. We're like watching a movie inside a movie. All right. Um, uh, okay, that brings up a good point, Matt. How come no one says goodbye to Arnie with the phrase "See you Slater"? Okay, because if Slater, played by Schwarzenegger, comes into the real world, they're gonna call him Arnold, right? Because he's in the real world, but he's dressed like his character. Um, yeah, that's a good point. So I don't know how much truth there is to this little tidbit I had heard. Um, when this movie came out, one of the things that Schwarzenegger had kind of blamed partly on the failure is that because he used to be governor, and I think at the end of his role as governor, this is when this movie came out towards the end, but he is a outspoken, well-known Republican, and so he backed Bush. Was it Bush and Clinton? And then Clinton was elected president, and Clinton had said something to the effect of how washed up or how lowbrow the action movies of the 80s and 90s are. And so Schwarzenegger was trying to point to that as part of the reason why maybe this movie failed. I don't remember that from the early 90s. I don't ever remember anybody pointing to the fact that that was why they would give the movie such a poor rating.
Yeah.
I don't think it deserved that bad of a rating, but I think the time and space that it came in on to the market, I think was just bad timing.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens to good movies, you know. I mean, I don't know if this is the best example, but when UHF with Weird Al Yankovic came out in '89, it was competing with Batman, it was competing with Last Crusade. And I'm not saying that UHF was like, you know, a great movie, but it would have probably done a lot better had it not been going up against like heavyweights of the time. Um, and I think people have learned to appreciate it more as years have gone on. But at the time, you know, it was nestled in between a couple of huge Hollywood blockbusters, and so therefore was easy to overlook.
Um, okay, thank you for that. Alex Peacock says that's long before he was governor. And so, yeah, double checking, he was governor from 2003 to 2011. So, yeah,
Yep,
this came out way before he was governor.
yep.
So, I don't get how he could even use that. Was he, I can't even remember Schwarzenegger's politics back then. He might
Hmm.
have been friends with Bush or something like that. It's well known that he's a Republican. We even knew that back when him and Maria Shriver got married. That was all over the news.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, she's going to make a cameo here in just a little bit.
I like Charles Dance's character, testing out a theory here.
Yeah, that's it's fascinating living in the real world. You got real world consequences for the better.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know where everybody lives, but I would hate to live in a city like that where you could just be shooting people. No one gives a shit.
That's right. I just shot somebody and I did it on purpose.
Yep. I murdered a man. No one cares. Crickets, just crickets.
When someone's like, "Hey, shut up down there. Try to sleep."
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what some of these big cities have turned into. Miss Swift, yes, Mercedes Rule from Married to the Mob, The Fisher King, and Big, among others, as Danny's mom.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Wouldn't her first reaction should have been, "Why are you bringing Arnold Schwarzenegger home?" Because in this
That's
world,
right.
that's who
But
he
she said, "You
is.
look right." But it's I guess that line that as Danny was walking in was supposed to obliviate it. It was just, she was just like, "You look just like him except for the eyes, and you're obviously much more intelligent." So she probably thinks he's like some sort of impersonator or something.
Yep. But it sounds like him, looks exactly like him. There is no mistaking that accent.
That's right. It's
I'm
neat.
sorry, I'm not buying it where he says I never talked to a woman before. In his fake world, wasn't he married?
Well, right, but
We haven't seen that backstory on him. So I guess it never happened. Hmm. Okay, Miss Swift quoteth the band Paramore. Ain't it
Paramore.
fun living in the real world? Ain't it good being all alone? Ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun you can't count on no one? Yeah. Guess what's playing? It's the
Mozart.
Mozart.
The guy practice killed?
Yep. Oh, she's flirting hard with him.
Well, who wouldn't? Let's be real.
I
Come on.
mean, yeah, seriously. Yeah, Alex Peacock Witness. That's a great movie.
Hmm.
Witness came out in what? 86,
Hmm.
87,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
85. Yeah, that was a great Harrison Ford non Star Wars, non Indiana Jones role. He was
Yep.
great in that.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, Johnny Devick, I showed Witness to my students 5 years back. They liked it. Oh, yeah. What's not
Whoa.
to like?
Whoa. I feel like if I tried to show that to my students, someone would complain about inappropriateness, and my head would be on the wall.
Hmm. Yeah. I, I don't recall anything inappropriate. It did the Amish community justice by showing really who they are in a good way.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised that that's Ford's only Oscar nomination. I would have thought Medicine Man might have gotten one.
His only?
Or no, not Medicine Man. Mosquito Coast. I would have thought that
Huh.
one was that one.
Maybe.
Hmm. There's the Ripper again.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Nominated for Best Actor in Leading Role for his performance in Witness.
Oh,
But
Swifty was
he did
talking
not
about.
win. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Swifty was saying regarding Henry, you know what? That was honestly, I feel like that's probably Harrison Ford's best dramatic performance in that because the funny thing is, I only saw that movie ever for years. I only saw like the second half of it, never saw the first half, and I thought it was so complete. And then when I saw the first part of it to show like who he was before, Henry gets shot and then, has to rebuild his life. I was just more impressed with what Harrison Ford was able to do with that role.
You're right. It's an underrated little sleeper of a movie.
It is.
And he wasn't even nominated for it.
Yeah.
Um, does anybody remember? So the 58th Academy Awards in 86, he lost. Who won? Do you remember? Does anybody off the top of your head can remember who won?
Nope.
That was a long time ago.
Hmm.
Um, it was William Hurt for Kiss of the Spider Woman.
William Hurt. Oh my goodness.
His movie The Fugitive, he wasn't nominated, but Tommy Lee Jones won for supporting actor.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, Johnny Devick says Air Force One should have given him a presidential pardon at least. Well, you'd think, because that was a good one too.
Um,
Schwarzenegger shows up
okay,
in one B.
here we go. Schwarzenegger and Shriver. Oh, they were a power couple back
Oh
in the
yeah.
day.
Oh, Little Richie cameo,
Yep,
and then Jean Claude Van Damme in a second here,
yep. Jim Belushi
and
shows
Jim
up.
Belushi. Yep.
And anybody else, you got to just look in the back because it's full.
Oh yeah. I think MC Hammer
Um,
also cameoed in this too. When he was asking like Arnold, well, he was asking Jack Slater as Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, "Hey, what about the soundtrack? I'm good, right?" MC Hammer, I
oh,
remember, was huge back in the early
yes.
'90s.
Okay, Alex Peacock is asking who else was nominated for that. Um, Back in '86, William Hurt was up for Kiss of the Spider Woman. Harrison Ford for Witness. James Garner for Murphy's Romance. Oh, I remember that movie. Jack Nicholson for Prizzi's Honor. John Voight for Runaway Train.
Huh.
Prizzi's Honor would be a great one to do.
Hmm.
All right,
he's
that's a
he's
train.
plugging Planet Hollywood.
Oh, Planet Hollywood in its heyday.
Yep. And Mary Shriver's like, "Don't plug the restaurants."
Yeah. Lisa Gibbons. Who's this guy?
Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, who is this guy that she's co-hosting with right here?
I know him, but I can't recall his
Ye-
name.
Yep. Hmm. Okay, so we've got the characters showing up, and they think they're the actors. So we have the actor and their movie counterpart,
That's right.
which this is a blast for them to do that.
Oh yeah. Swifty says the Entertainment Tonight lady, I forget her name, but that's Kurt Loder as himself. So that must be the
Kurt
co-host.
Loder, who I think was on MTV for quite a while. That's how I know him.
Yeah.
Yep, Lisa Gibbons. on Entertainment Tonight for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Yep, Swift is saying Tom Noonan playing himself and also his movie counterpart.
Right.
Yep,
Did Jack,
it's what's his name from The Burbs. Yep.
did Jack Nicholson show up to Batman just as the Joker? I don't think so.
No, he did not. So I'm sure there's more
Oh, Chevy Chase, Damon
cameos
Wayans.
here. Yep, there's Jean Claude.
I'm surprised he didn't do a helicopter kick when he was doing that interview.
Well, they would. Yep, Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is here too. And this little kid, Danny, is played by Austin O'Brien.
Yep.
And I have not done a deep dive on him to see what else he had been up to.
I think he was also in Prehysteria, which was like they did a couple of direct video movies with Full Moon Pictures about a couple miniature dinosaurs, and he was like in the first one. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I think he was also the kid in Free Willy.
I'm going to do a search of him. He also starred in My Girl 2,
Okay.
The Lawnmower Man. The Lawnmower
Oh
Man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Really? We had a watch party of that a couple years ago.
yeah, yeah.
I don't remember him.
Nope.
And Promised Land before transitioning away from acting to pursue photography.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess he did. After a while, he just stepped away from being in front of the movies,
Yep.
in front of the camera. Um, okay, now where do you think he was from? What movie?
Prehysteria, and maybe Free Willy.
Oh, yes. It says he was in Prehysteria. Free Willy. No,
Oh, okay.
nope. Oh, Miss Swift, thank you. He was the abused neighbor boy in The Lawnmower Man, Job's friend.
Okay.
And Matt is saying Lawnmower Man 2 before this.
Oh yeah, it could have been.
Okay.
I don't really like you. You brought along nothing but pain.
Okay, so Schwarzenegger and Slater face to face, and he just thinks it's his look-alike. That's funny. Oh, yes. Miss Swift posted a GIF of MC Hammer's most famous video.
Yeah.
Can't touch this. It's the iconic pants, it's the iconic look, the dance, everything just screams 80s, 90s, the whole time frame.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so yeah, the song came out in 1990. You can't touch this.
Yeah.
Huh. But I have memories that it was like a song back in my high school days, like mid 80s.
Yeah. I mean, it hung around a while. It was a lot of his success and appeal, especially in the early '90s. He was able to ride that wave for a long time.
Oh yeah. So now the movie has come full circle in its imaginary to real world for the characters.
Yep.
So yeah, Jack Slater now has to relive this scene again.
Yep. Alex Peacock showing a GIF of the Arsenio Hall show. Woo, 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 woo. I remember that back in the day. It was
Oh,
really
I remember
popular.
that too. Um, and Arsenio Hall happened to show up on Conan O'Brien's podcast.
Yep.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And they spent a lot of time talking about the origins of the Arsenio Hall show, which, if you guys don't remember or are too young to remember, it was in its heyday, it was one of the most popular late night shows.
Yeah.
Because it was very distinctive, it had its own style. It was not like any of the other, uh, how do I say this delicately? White male dominated late
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
show. And it had an edge, and it was very successful for many years. And he talks to Conan about the start of that and the whole life of it. Um, if you guys are into podcasts, it was a fun one to watch.
Imagine trying to pull someone off a ledge on a wet ledge wearing cowboy boots.
Yes, I remember that Calbot posted that GIF. Um, you probably remember it from earlier because it sampled this, Sharon. Yes.
Rick James.
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember Rick James. And I have the song in my head. Yeah. Oh yeah, back in the heyday.
And then Miss Swift shows the Dave Chappelle version.
Oh jeez. Yeah, Rick James was, boy, he was a piece of work. I think every
Oh
other
yeah.
month he was getting busted. And it was very well known he had a extreme drug habit.
Oh yeah. Now, actually, I like this scene because not only is it subversive, but it has also one of the great, you know, uh, like hero come back at the villain lines at the end too.
And we get the villain doing his exposition dump.
That's right.
And of course, he's got to, because he didn't actually follow through with his plan, but now we know what he wanted to do with his magic ticket.
Right. Imagine if he did pull Freddy Krueger or Hannibal Lecter or King Kong into the real world. I mean, man, that would be like real supervillain stuff.
He would be unstoppable.
Yeah, really. The bad guys can win. Yeah, they certainly can.
Yeah, in the real world. They can more often than we would like to see them win, but
Yeah,
sometimes the good guys win.
yeah.
More often than not, the good guys win. I would like to think so.
I just left one chamber empty.
You what?
Great. Oh man, great subversion right there. Alex, you're getting ahead of us, buddy. Hang on, we're getting there.
Oh yeah, yeah, in the next scene. Oh yeah, Ian McKellen. Oh my gosh. That was just a brilliant part, brilliant cameo. Yeah, by all accounts, if he really was shot in the chest there, he would be dead.
He'd be dead. Yeah, with a magnum like
Oh, yeah.
that. Yeah, he'd be dead. Even if it missed his heart, his lungs. I mean, still would have been. But I love this line. Such a Schwarzenegger line.
Yep. Ah, yep. That reference to the
Seven
Seventh
Seal.
Seal from 1957.
Yeah, that was another Olivier project, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Let's do a quick search.
No, do it.
Not to be confused with the Demi Moore movie, The Seventh Seal.
I don't think I really would.
Nope, The Seventh Seal. Bergman directed and wrote it, starring. Oh, Max von Sydow is in it.
Oh,
The budget for it was $150,000 in 1957, would equate to how much in 2026?
probably a little over a million.
Oh, Matt posted a GIF, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper. Wild Science was this uh, Bill and Ted Part 2,
Yep,
right?
Bill and Ted.
Oh, Swift, I thought the Demi Moore movie was The Seventh Sign. It could be, yes. Not The
Hmm,
Seventh
hmm.
Seal, The Seventh Sign. That's right.
Alex, that's a good question. I mean,
Oh,
if Ian McKellen was willing to do this role, certainly Van Sydow would have been up for it too. Wouldn't have been any more expensive at that point.
I wonder if he was even offered.
Yeah, because this was still '93.
I can Google that real quick. In. No, it just says even though Sito was actively acting, nope, he wasn't. He wasn't in this.
Hmm.
Probably, yeah, Miss Webb maybe too expensive.
But I love this part where Jack just kind of stops and breathes deep, and then it slowly pans over to Death coming at him.
Well, the kid loves his superhero, Slater.
Yep.
I can understand him protecting.
They also had a light on Kellen's face. That was a good touch.
He really is just putting his all into this little cameo.
Yep.
He's in just this one scene, got a few lines, but he's memorable.
But I also love that even though he's in a movie, he has Death's powers. Like when he's in the real world, he can actually see who like really lives and dies and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Um, oh, Calbot, Von Sydow didn't play Death in the Seventh Seal, so that may be why. Could be. And having not seen the movie myself, I would not have known that.
No. McKellen's going to come back, be Magneto one more time in the MCU, though, so at least we got that going for us.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Avengers Doomsday coming out later this year. Oh, yeah. We got the
Everybody's in it.
Yeah, we got the X-Men, the Avengers, Fantastic Four. Everybody's going to be in that one.
Yeah. Uh, one conglomerate owns everything. Okay, at least the kid figured out, right, the other half of the ticket. How did Death know that?
Well, I mean, he's death. He gotta know
Does
it
he know
all,
everything?
right? I guess. Calbot says that Bengt Ekerot, and Swifty says, "Oh, that's right. Van Sydow was the knight, not death." Okay.
Well, that might be an oldie but a goodie movie I'd check out.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Devick says digital tickets would really mess up this movie script. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Everything would be on the kid's phone, and the kid would have a phone if
That's
it
right.
was present day.
Yeah, Houdini never would have entered into it in the first place.
Yep.
Calbot says, "Yeah, he played chess with death." Well, that's your problem, Calbot. He should have
Okay.
played Battleship or Twister, and then maybe he would have had a better shot. What's up, buddy? What are you doing?
Okay, well, Jack Slater is now back in the movie world, so we know all is going to be right. This is kind of a touching scene,
Oh yeah.
and the kid knows he can't stay.
Yeah.
And Jack
Well,
Slater can't live in the real world. Isn't
yeah.
that like a trope of what, war-torn sweethearts, or sweethearts that can't stay together for some reason, and they have this parting scene at the end. Oh, hey,
By the way, this is my little buddy. This is Murphy. Hey, buddy.
kitty.
Always comes to see how sees how I'm doing. And he's also not bothered by my wolfy exterior, are you, little schmuck? Yeah.
He's probably seen you in it many times.
Oh yeah. Just wanted to show chat. There we go. All right, go, buddy.
Aw, we love the
Yeah.
kitties. I'm a total cat person.
It's funny. I wasn't. I was actually raised on dogs most of my young life, but strangely, I'm one of the only members of my extended family that's not allergic to cats. And so, when I was getting a pet for
Oh,
myself, living by myself, I got a friend of mine suggested Murphy to me. I got him as a kitten, and 12 years later, we're still roommates.
nice. Cats can live a very long life.
Oh yeah,
They're perfect.
hopefully, just like Jack Slater.
So now Jack Slater's got a touch of the real world in him. That's going to mess up his movies if they keep it up as a franchise. Ugh.
Right.
Yeah, Miss Swift is saying this compositing is a little basic. A little, yeah. It's dated. Well, when you consider this was the dawn of CGI, but not really.
Yeah.
But Jurassic Park was the one that, sent it through the roof.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's the 10 pole.
Yep. So the kid's just going to keep the ticket and just go into the movies whenever.
That would make for a perfect sequel. I like how Nick like talked about Wild Bill Hickok, like that was going to be like another avenue to test, the boundaries between the world and the fictional world.
All
Okay,
right,
there we
gang.
go.
There you go. 2 hours
Whew.
and 3 minutes. Yeah, exactly. What a ride.
Yeah, what a ride.
Uh, what did you guys think? If it was your first time seeing, what'd you think? Um, and for anyone that has seen it before, what did you think seeing it again? Um, it is it is dated, but for a fun afternoon, I love this movie.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
100%.
Um, uh, all right. So,
Calbot says Jack Slater and Whiskers will return in Avengers Doomsday.
well, maybe they're throwing everybody else
That's,
at it,
yeah,
right?
that's the meme is that everybody will just return in an Avengers film.
Uh, guys, either they've done it right with Doomsday, or it's gonna just fall flat. And I'm just holding out hope that they've done it right.
Oh hell, I'm going to be seeing it no matter what, but I'm just a superhero junkie, so that's it.
Oh, of course, I'm going to see it too. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Despite what anybody says, most everybody who's a fan is going to see it. They're not going to care what
Oh
the
yeah.
reviewers say. Miss Swift says, "Fun revisiting this underrated gem." Yeah, I'm glad it's found its audience, and it really is this cult classic movie.
Yep.
So next week, because I do have all of May's movies posted on my YouTube page. Rambo First Blood.
Nice.
This is kind of a nice segue into a Stallone driven, dare I say, masterpiece.
I would not disagree with you to say that.
Yeah, I've never put Stallone and masterpiece in the same sentence, but it just lands on so many
Oh,
different
yeah.
levels.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
he was a heck of a writer. You got to remember that, he wrote uh, Rocky, the first movie that won Best Picture, and that kind of catapulted his whole career. But most of his early films, he was the writer for most of those movies, not just the actor.
yep. Um, and he's been maybe he hasn't been nominated for any Academy Awards. He's not that level, but
Right.
he has been a very steady working actor. Um, what's to complain about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll get like a lifetime achievement award one, if he
Yep.
doesn't sooner rather than later. I'm sure they'll be coming down the pipe.
But yeah, definitely, this is the one that kind of kicked off the franchise.
Yep.
Calbot is saying, I had a good time. I think it was maybe too ahead of its time in '93.
Calbot, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yep.
And
I think it was, and a lot of people just missed it. They missed the boat.
and old Johnny Devick says it's a good movie. I think there are some issues with pacing going into and out of the different realities, but it's good for what it does. And yeah, I agree. It's definitely not a perfect film, but it's a fun film and it's a good satirical film.
Definitely. Um, yeah, I rate it up there with some of the other really good action movies.
Yep.
Um, so, Alex Peacock says Stallone is still one of the smartest guys in the room.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yep. I think you're right.
All righty. Well, guys, this has been a blast.
So
To
fun.
all of you mothers out there, or if you have a mother, happy Mother's Day. It's a
Yep.
great day today. Um, every Sunday's a great day.
Hmm.
We get to come here and watch movies and do it together. So, um, thank you all for once again showing up and having fun. Thank you, Mr. Furzel, for co-hosting today.
Yeah. Thank you again. It's always a fun time.
Yep, it's always a fun time. Oh, Calbot says I like Def Leppard's Two Steps Behind, but it's a very stalkery song, like Every Breath You Take. Yes, yes. Johnny Devitt, thank you. Great show all. Yes, I
Thanks,
concur.
Johnny.
So, yep, we're going to do Rambo. Oh, and then we've got two back-to-back weeks of Tom Cruise action slash sci-fi movies. That will be fun.
Yeah, sounds like a
Great
lot
way
of
to
fun
end up.
coming up the next couple of weeks.
Yep, we're going to have a blast.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guys, have a great week and be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Um, as you're going out in the world doing your thing, just everybody be safe. We'll do it again next Sunday. We'll watch a little Rambo.
Okay. Thanks, Sharon.
Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
Bye.